Welcome everyone. Welcome to Osby Drone, Ready Set Drone, and Thunderbird's show, and Lloyd's show, and we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitch. We're everywhere today. You cannot stop us from getting out. Kelly, how you doing?
Hello. Good to see everybody. I'm watching Lloyd down here in my little rendezvous screen put on his FPV goggles like he's going to do some flying right here on camera, which is awesome. How's everybody doing?
Look, I'm doing fine. Lloyd's in the background there. How are you doing in the background, Lloydie?
I'm doing good. I'm hanging tight here.
Just put the goggles on. Come on, got to show us. Got to show us the Lloyd and the goggles.
You look good, man. I like the beard. I like the mutton chops there. You kind of got an Elvis thing going.
Well, I was shooting for Wolverine and came out with Mungo Jerry.
Well, hey, look at that. Are those Dominators?
Yeah, they're Dominators HD3s.
Nice. Yeah, those are nice. Yeah. Those are good
got
goggles.
My
FR Sky,
yeah. Yeah,
nice.
The X9 Lite. That's been a challenge.
A lot of buttons on that thing.
Yeah, well, it's been a challenge getting it to bind with this because this doesn't natively come with D8.
So you got to put some sort of a module in for D8.
Yeah, I put the XJT module in, and
did you get it bound?
Oh yeah. I've already crashed it at least twice. So,
nice. No, that's awesome. I'll tell you, there's nothing more fun than just zipping around in the living room with that thing.
Yeah, well, I lost it once. I took it outside, flew over the house, and the dog knew where it was at because it was barking. I'd been chasing him with it.
Is that a Tiny Hawk 2 or the original Tiny Hawk?
No, it's the original Tiny Hawk. It's
have
courtesy of Mel.
Mel,
yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Mel.
Mel sent it to me, and I got some Doc Murdoch. He just sent me the picture. I've got some Doc Murdoch antennae.
Yeah, those things are way better than the stock stuff.
Yeah.
So just as we start today, I'll just quickly jump in for a moment. So I've got Trevor almost ready to fly today. Yeah, it is my show.
Hey,
what
Trevor.
do I know?
Nice.
We got Trevor almost ready to fly, so I'm going to go and do some magic and get that on the screen. So you two continue your conversation while I go and play for a while.
All right. Well, Lloyd, I want to show you something.
Oh,
this guy here. I'm going to fly this tomorrow for the first time. I need to set it up tonight. This is a newbie drone, invisible drone. So this one carries the Insta360 1R in this slot right here.
Right.
And then there's a lens facing up and a lens facing down, and the drone is in the it's in the blind spot basically. So when it's flying, you don't see, or when you see the footage, you don't see the drone. Yeah. Another cool thing about this, I've been showing it off. I haven't even set it up yet, but I'm going to do that tonight. Fly it tomorrow. It's got two different slots for batteries on either side. So you notice two battery connectors there?
Yep.
So they're two little, you can put two either 3-cell or 4-cell batteries on either side. They have to be a certain size, and then plug them in, but it keeps it more balanced. That's the whole goal, is for this thing to be really well balanced.
Right.
I'm pretty stoked. And then check out these props on this guy. They're 5 blade.
Oh, wow. 5 blade.
Yeah, I think for these ducted ones, more blades makes it more efficient, I suppose. I'm not sure the thinking behind that.
But it would, yeah.
But I'm really excited about the footage I'm going to get with this guy.
Well, I've been learning a lot about OpenTX and flashing my, there's a lot to learn. There's a big learning curve. Beta flight, yeah. And,
I was going to ask, do you have a beeper set up on your Tiny Hawk?
No, I don't. I take it doesn't come with one. I've got the.
I think it does. I'm
does
not sure.
I've got the.
So if you go into beta flight, plug it in.
Right, I've got this set up for my beeper to work. So,
but it doesn't.
I haven't heard it yet.
Okay.
And I now have an SD card in my goggles because that's
you record your flight.
I lost mine that day, and I had to I hunted all over the backyard. Judy came out and hunted all over the backyard. About gave me a heart attack. And finally, I kept thinking where the dog was looking. Finally, Judy says, "Well, just go out and look in the front yard." I said, "It didn't go out there. I flew it in the backyard." Well, I went out and looked in the front. Yeah, I was right there. I went right over the roof of one of our little shop we have there that's attached to the house. I went right over there and landed right out. I walked out there and
the dog was looking at it.
The dog ate your homework?
It was out in the front yard.
The dog ate your homework?
No, the dog just told me where it was at because he kept looking up, because last he saw it, it was flying in the air. So
you need to teach the dog.
Just interruption here. Just a quick interruption. So Trevor was here, and I was getting picture from him. I don't know, Trevor, if you can hear us, but we're getting black screen from you right now. So I don't know if you want to reconnect or something like that. But we were going to have your live flight. Trevor, what's going on?
Where is Trevor?
South Australia.
Nice. That's a very Australian name, Trevor, I think.
Yeah. He's still sending us data, and I think we're getting audio from him as well, but...
Lens cap.
No, well, he started off with the drone pointing at a street sign of some sort, and I went away and was going and putting it on the screen, and then next thing you know, it's gone.
I'm just trying to tech support here, Greg. So, Greg, I have a question for you about fly-in, and this was asked to me by Kai earlier, Lone Star UAV. Can you fly in using RMTP with anything but DJI? Could you do it with an Evo or some other drone?
Absolutely. So if you've got any type of drone whatsoever, it doesn't matter. If it can send RTMP, you put in the URL and we'll be able to take your feed and throw it up and share it with everyone else. Absolutely.
Unless your name is Trevor.
Unless your name is Trevor. And unless you're coming from South Australia.
Probably hit that street sign.
Yeah, so I don't know if Lone Star UAV is in the chat. I thought I saw him earlier. Hey, I see Michael Wright there. At least in my chat, I see Michael Wright. I see Sunrise Water Media. I see my brother Brad from Virginia. Matt Cundiff's in there. Jerry Bauer. Got a good group watching on Ready, Set, Drone. But Lone Star UAV, if you want to try the Evo, that would be pretty cool. Because I don't know, has anybody flown an Evo on this yet?
No, it'll be the first Evo we've had on the channel. And speaking of people that we do have here, on my side, we've got Legwork. We've got John Morrison, my regular co-host, who's in the chat. Just a quick comment on that. John was going to fly today, but he's got a different controller and there's a firmware issue between his controller and the aircraft. So he's going and troubleshooting that. Hello and welcome Zebmeet, Brad Alston, Drone Shots, Lost Girl Hikes, and Thunderbird 6. So welcome to all those people. There are other places like on Lloyd's channel and in Facebook and Twitch. We won't have all the chats up, but hello to everyone.
Yeah, welcome guys. I mean, that's why we call it global, right? And it's great to be back with you guys. It's been a, as the kids say, it's been a minute.
Yeah. So while we're waiting for someone else to come in, I am looking for that at the moment. No one there yet. Let's get into the news, and I'll get rid of our opening music there in the background. So the news this week, as always, is brought to you by AirData UAV, and my little thing is not on the screen. There we go. Is your drone healthy, or is it about to surprise you on your next flight? Don't wait to find out. Discover under the hood information and review the early signs of problems before you take off again. Use the discount code OzByDrone20 and get a 20% discount on the plan. And if you want to try it out, there is a free plan available and that doesn't expire or anything. Just go and give it a try. AirData UAV. Our first story today, while we wait for someone to fly, is drone fishing. We all know that flying drones gets addictive, but there are some other types of flying that really get you hooked, and this is one of them. Let's watch.
It's a nice big bait, like 800 grams, and this is the loader. This is how the easy load works on the Kuhnert export. So it will automatically release, or obviously when you press the button it will also release.
Now, Kelly, you and I, we've all seen drone fishing videos before, but I loved this one when I saw it in my news feed this week. Not because of the aircraft.
What kind of aircraft is it? Do you know? Does it say?
I'll come back to that in a minute, but I wanted to share the reason why I was sharing it was not because of the aircraft, but because of the size of the fish that he's taking out there. We're not talking some little bit of bait.
No, that is a good size. I don't know what type of fish. Do you know anybody? Lloyd, you're from Oklahoma. You should know.
Yeah, well, I don't recognize that.
Oh, I see. So he's actually using it to cast. So look at that freighter out there, or at this cruise ship, maybe.
Yeah.
That is somewhere. I mean, obviously, Lloyd, you know, all the oceans around Oklahoma. I'm surprised you don't know what kind of fish that is.
Yeah.
But here's the comments in the article, the original article. So here's how it works. You get everything ready to go, hook, line, and sinker. You attach the line to your drone. You don't simply tie it on. You generally connect it to a servo-activated device, which will drop your line when you tell it to. Now, I've seen this company who makes these, some people might use a Swell Pro Splash 3. I'm not sure what that one is. Let me just go to the website. I don't think that was
a Swell Pro. I've seen those before.
No, it's a Gannet. It's a Gannet drone, Gannet.
It looks almost like a whale. It's black and white. It almost looks like a Shamu, you know, the killer whale.
Yeah, whale, yeah.
So drone fishing and Gannet, they do make a lot of droppers, and they do make droppers as well for the Phantom series and many other types of drones as well.
So you're not actually lifting the fish, the fish that you're catching out of the water.
No.
You are taking the bait out further and then dropping it maybe in a spot where you can actually see fish too, like because you could look down with the camera, I would suppose.
Absolutely. Well, we'll leave that one there in the background now, and while we're getting ready for our next story, let's have a look, see if anyone's come in yet.
Come on, people. Somebody's got to fly.
Trevor's not there yet. He'll come back soon. I think Chris said he was going to fly today. Also, JS Ariel said, and JS Ariel said he would try and fly today as well. So Sweet. We'll see those guys come in the fullness of time. In the meantime, we have our second story, which is this one. Now, we've seen a lot of these single-shot videos happening recently. To celebrate Manchester City's Premier League title victory, their club has created a new video which captures the Etihad Stadium by drone.
The bus has arrived, so please welcome the boys in blue, Manchester City!
Always have to start with the fly through the door.
You know, there were two versions of this video that I found, one that started on the field and was more focused on that part, but this is going through the entire stadium.
So, I mean, the flying in this is good. But what amazes me is the range, the penetration this guy's getting through all these walls and all this distance. I just don't know, even with the digital system, I don't get it. I don't understand how. I know that it has to do with antenna placement. It has to do with the type of antenna. Maybe they're boosting the signal on these things so they can get a clean thing. But I know for me, even flying digital, when I've flown outdoors through a couple of walls, I lose signal.
Yeah. Without knowing for sure where he's at. I mean, I would be guessing that he's on the other side of the stadium, giving him as close as possible to line of sight through the tunnel. That's only guesswork.
Yeah, that would make sense. And probably, I don't think probably, I'm sure they mapped out this entire route. You know, they wanted to be able to show certain things like that skybox they were in. This almost looks like a 3D render fly-through. You know, it doesn't look real.
But
I know it is.
It is, yeah.
Wow.
But here's an interesting thing. You know, people have heard all about the different FCC boost modes and all of those kind of things. You don't need it so much in the US, but if you're flying outside the US with many products, we get a small fraction of the signal that's available to you. So that's one thing that a lot of people do outside the US. But here's another one that people may not have heard of is there's a hardware add-on board for Phantom drones, for Mavics, for a lot of different drones now that can increase your signal strength. Now, of course, you need to be licensed and comply with your local laws. but people have been doing that now. There is a hardware mod available.
That was a move. You saw that?
Yeah.
That was sweet.
A moment to reflect.
Yeah, I had not seen this. This is awesome. And I'm sure a lot of these are very dependent on, these videos have a really good soundtrack, you know, that kind of puts you feeling like you're in a game, you know, with the announcers and the crowd and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's leave that there. We're going to move on and encourage people to go to our original video description. We've got a link on the Osby Drone channel, and Kelly, I'm sure, will copy the details later of the links to all of these places where we found the stories. Do go and check it out and support those other creators there. Speaking of supporting people, supporting surf lifesaving is something that's pretty important in Australia. You know, we've got a large coastline, we've got sharks, we've got rips. And
just like Oklahoma.
Yeah. Surf Lifesaving Queensland has purchased a stake in a company called the Ripper Group. This is a company that creates drones that drop inflatables on top of stricken swimmers. Now, everyone in Australia is very much aware of the Little Ripper Group and their ability to go and help rescue people, and certainly our Surf Lifesaving have been using their products a fair bit. There's the inflatable getting dropped, and the people there are going to go and, yeah, absolutely. We've got a second video as well. We're just going to quickly cut over to that. The second one is also related to the Little Ripper Group, and UTS, the University of Technology Sydney, has partnered with them to add AI and detect where sharks are located and automatically raise alarms based on the incoming video feed. So that's what these guys do. And certainly it makes sense that Surf Lifesaving Queensland would be purchasing a stake in that company.
Oh, it's seeing sharks all over on the ground too. Oh no, those are surfers.
Yeah, it's identifying people and threats.
Wow. Yeah, kayak. That's really cool. I mean, I guess it just recognizes the shape.
There you go. So you can see it right there.
Oh man, Steve Irwin, look out.
Yeah. Well, he needed one of these. Well, even if he had it, he still would have been there.
Yeah. No. And I don't mean any disrespect. I have a great deal of respect for Steve Irwin and his entire family. So just for the Aussies in the group. Don't take
Kelly,
it the wrong way.
Kelly, I got a question for you. One of the things that I've seen a trend of is reducing the size of drones, right? So they're getting a lot smaller for both regulatory reasons, for safety reasons, flying indoors and so on. How small do you think they're going to get?
Well, you mean for a camera drone, like a Mavic kind of thing?
For something that is airborne and is, what's the smallest?
Where is? I just had one sitting here. Oh, it's in the other room. Very small. So I think that 3.5, 2.5 inch drones are now carrying the DJI Air unit or the Caddx Vista unit. Sorry, I stuffed an apple in my mouth a minute ago, so that's what that is. But they're just going to get smaller because these transmitters are getting more powerful. They're requiring less power. I think we'll regularly see things about the size of the tiny whoop that Mel gave to Lloyd that will be able to do HD video in the next 2 or 3 years. I think we'll be able to do little indoor racers with HD digital video and stabilization built in something not much bigger than a GoPro pretty soon. That's my thought.
I think you're spot on, but I want to share this next story with you. It's not. I'll just play the title. Just imagine getting into molecular level drones. This is a really, really cool story. Not technically your traditional drone, but the race has been on to make drones lighter and lighter. How small can they go? Researchers in Italy have demonstrated a molecular drone which lands on a surface, bonds to a single atom, and then flies off with it, leaving vacancy in its wake. This finding, the team say, may open the door to rapid atomic manipulation and fabrication on a relatively large scale.
What is? Do you know what is causing it to or controlling it? What its propulsion is? Is it?
So
electricity or magnetics or what?
It's something that is chemical related. So it's not something with real propellers. It's a chemical related. And if I read the details, iron flat cyanic chloride can be used as a molecular drone. Yeah, I know. Well, it wasn't. It's a chemical, and they believe it's going to be able to be used, as it says, to do rapid atomic level manipulation and fabrication at scale. I'm just thinking, we've been watching for many, many years your Star Trek kind of things with, what do they call it, the replicators or whatever.
The tricorder?
No, what's the thing where they go, their food comes out of it and it's just molecularly create replicator. It's a replicator.
Yeah, the replicator. Yeah. Thank you, Lloyd.
Just imagine.
I'm a nerd.
We thought that was never, ever, ever going to happen. But just imagine at a molecular level, if you can get a bunch of carbon or something and reorganize it to be something else using this type of technology, it may actually happen one day. It's just mind-boggling.
Dustin mentioned something about baking soda submarines. I do remember those. Lloyd, did you ever play with those?
Yeah, and the vinegar and baking soda rocket ships.
Oh yeah, it was just a chemical reaction.
Yeah, but they had these little rockets, and you could, you put the stuff in there, stuff toilet paper in there, and set it down, and that thing would shoot up.
Yeah, those were
good
awesome.
old days. Yeah.
Well, and there were also the ones. Hey,
there it goes.
There were the ones that were plastic that you put air in and water into, and it was just pressurized. It would and then when you released the pressure, there was a little hole, and it would just push it.
Those they were probably about this size.
They had little fins on the back. Those.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play with? I made, when I was probably in 8th grade, 9th grade, I made a tennis ball cannon, and I took soup cans and I cut the tops, the tops and bottoms. So I basically had metal cylinders, and they were just the right size for a tennis ball to fit in. And you probably made it about 4 feet long. That's a meter and a quarter for you, Greg. And then you had, for the last two, instead of cutting the can all the way, you cut half of it, and then you would fill the bottom part with lighter fluid. You had a little hole, and you would just light it, and that when it ignited, it would pop the tennis ball out the top. And oh man, it would go blocks.
Sort of like the potato cannon.
Yeah. It's the very same thing, only with a tennis ball.
Tennis balls, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Biggest thing I did with lighter fluid was, I used to squirt it down into the toilet bowl, throw a match at it, and flush it. I'm surprised I never blew up the toilet.
Wow, yeah.
I can hear the place
we're a bit of a
burning
tangent
down
here, Greg. Sorry.
There we've gone downhill again. Your
We've
show
gone
again,
downhill.
Greg. Take over.
My show. Okay, I take the con. Moving on, we're still waiting for some people to join. If you're watching on any of the channels,
someone come fly.
Come and fly. As I said, our regular co-host John was going to fly, but he had an issue bonding his controller, so he's not able. Trevor had a problem. I don't know what it was. Someone else, go and put a drone up, particularly if you're flying with DJI Go 4. That's the easiest one. We've had many people do it. You don't have to use that. Lloyd, can you paste the details over into Kelly's channel and a few other people's channels? That'd be really helpful.
Do that right now. I've been trying to.
Yeah, Michael Blade said he made a potato gun with PVC pipe. I know a lot of people who did that with PVC pipe, but it was definitely Drone Shot said soak the tennis ball in gas, then shoot it off at night. That's pretty
there you
good.
go.
Yeah, sounds like fun. Moving on to our next one, Cutting the Cord. A company called Hydromia from Switzerland has unveiled a prototype of what it's calling a world's first wireless underwater drone in a pool demo on May the 11th, and it's only just a few days ago. Now, everyone has seen underwater drones with
a tether,
cables behind it, etc.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking.
Now, here's the interesting thing. They're using optical communication. They've actually got something that's watching the blinking lights.
Oh. So there has to be line of sight with it, maybe?
Yeah.
Because I know I've played with the ones that have a cord, and here's what always happens. This has happened every year for like the last 4 years, is I go to upstate New York, usually in June or July. We're on the St. Lawrence River, which is very clear. It's actually a very clear body of water. And I always want one of these to have with me. And then immediately after we get back, I get an offer from somebody. Hey, you want to test out our new submarine? But it's after I'm back and I don't have any place, all the muddy lakes around here would not be a great place to do it. So I need to try and get a hold of one now. That would be a cool one to have.
That would be a very cool one.
I'm sure
company,
it's
as I
expensive.
said, in Switzerland. Yes, I would guess it'd be expensive. But I don't know the properties of radio waves through water enough to know and understand what is the challenge and what is the problem, Lloyd, or do either of you know, Kelly?
I think it blocks radio waves pretty significantly.
Water is pretty dense in as far as its it'll conduct electricity, but it blocks radio waves. That's why. So
here's a question.
They have this problems with submarines.
I was about to say submarines. How do they actually communicate?
Well, it's sonar,
radio.
Right?
Well, they use sonar to detect their positions.
Yeah.
But they use a special type of, I don't remember because it's been a while since I've looked at that. And, I've forgotten so much about that. But I do remember discussing radio waves and water water dissipation and stuff like that.
Well, I know as a snowflake that the radio waves that submarines use are often harmful to marine life. That like it really messes with the whales and messes.
That is the sonar, but.
Okay.
You get in front of the sonar. The radio waves don't do it. It's the sonar that does it. And basically, they're pinging a high-frequency sound. And, of course, that's how, all the little porpoise and all those little critters that you tree huggers love.
You do.
Although I don't know how you can hug them when they're underwater, but that's another story. Anyways, it does screw with their sonar. And I like Flipper too. Don't get me wrong.
He's pretty cool. He does all those tricks and stuff. I didn't know if that was the radio waves because they were using a really high power radio. I do know too, in a lot of submarine movies, they have to go to a higher they have to almost surface or get closer to the top in order to actually communicate.
That's why they have those such high antennas off the on top of the coning
tower.
Coning tower. Thank you. I got my tongue wrapped around my eye teeth and couldn't see what I was saying. Anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway. And they also use
we'll all watch Hunt for Red October tonight.
And they also sometimes they use a buoyancy antenna where they can send it up so high. And
like with a balloon or something.
With a balloon. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, look, let's move on. Let's have a quick check as we do so. Is there anyone ready to fly?
Trevor.
We have
Lone Star
Trevor
UAV
maybe
just
back.
confirmed what I said.
We have Trevor maybe coming back. So let me see if we've got actual picture, because last time it was... No,
So Lloyd, is that part of your 2024 platform is going to be anti-marine life?
Oh, no. Well, I'm not anti-marine life. I like to eat fish like anybody else.
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well,
you ever had whale?
I have. Yes, I was going to say good. Whale is. Yeah, no. I
had it 2 years ago and was not a big fan.
No, it's just not my favorite. Neither is squid or octopus. Either one. I'm not real fond of those.
Do you like sushi?
No. I want my fish cooked.
What about just a nice, really good, like fatty tuna or I mean, those raw. Do you like lox?
I don't eat fish bait. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's go and look for Flipper right now. Okay, let's move on. Let's get back to, we still don't have Trevor, but we do have another news story. And this one, here we go. I'm just going to start off with it. Sterile. Birth control. These are topics and stories that you wouldn't normally associate with a drone. It might surprise most drone owners that drones can be used for birth control. In the past, Cessna aircraft were used to send sterile moths into the air to help control moth population. While that worked, it wasn't sustainable. So a solution using drones was developed.
Good morning, my name is Michelle Cook. I work for SIR, the Sterile Insect Release Program. And this morning we're here in one of our southeast Kelowna apple orchards. And we're going to be doing a drone flight. And on that flight, we're going to be releasing our sterile codling moth over the apples. We'll be putting 30,000 moths into the bucket on the bottom of the drone. The SIR program is a really unique agricultural organization. It's a local government program that's been around for 25 to 30 years, operating in the Okanagan. And we have offices from Osoyoos all the way up to Vernon, and we distribute sterile codling moth as a form of pest control to apple and pear orchards all across that.
Would you have ever thought that a drone could be used for birth control?
Well, I think we could say probably most of the guys in the audience here, the nerdy factor in itself is sort of a form of birth control.
Yeah.
But one
look at me and my FPV goggles, and my wife is not interested. We're
runs
not
away.
having any more kids.
Yeah, I can understand that. But the basic idea here, and I didn't know this until reading about this, is that the moth will remain faithful to its partner, and the fact that you're releasing sterile moths which go and mate with another partner, they don't find another partner, and that's it. And that's why they can use that to reduce the population. I
think they're doing that with mosquitoes in Florida. I mean, in all seriousness, I think that's also a way to control mosquitoes down in the Everglades.
It may very well be the case. I had not heard of that before. There you go.
You know what I thought you were going to say? I thought you were going to have a story about drones that actually perform vasectomies. I mean, they have the blades spinning, right? And
that is a form of birth control. I really expected Kelly to jump on this because it's xenophobic against moths.
If I run as your vice president, I'm going to have an anti-moth agenda. But I will tell you, Lloyd, that I did. This is definitely TMI, and you heard it first on Oz by Drone. I did have a vasectomy in a while back, and I was on, I guess they gave me Xanax or something to just kind of, it's a very weird, if you've never had one, it's a very weird experience, let me tell you that. But I was just cracking up with the doctor, and the doctor's name, no kidding, is Richard Chop, and he goes by Dick. And that is not a joke. There is actually a doctor, urologist in Austin named Dick Chop.
Oh my God. You can't make that crap up.
No, it's actually, and he's got t-shirts and everything.
Oh my God.
That's just, Google it. Google it. If you don't believe me, GTS.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Only had to talk by drone.
Let's transition from the Dick Chop back to Trevor for a moment.
Real guy. Trevor,
if you can change your session key for your RTMP, maybe that'll get it working. I don't know, but something weird is happening. You're still getting black screen. In the meantime, let's go to our next story, which would be this one. We're going to go from sterile drones to hot drones. Now, there's been many discussions that drones are a hot technology topic to keep an eye on, but Not being satisfied, counter-UAS companies are looking to microwave technology to heat up the market a bit more.
99, range is hot, range is hot. Drones are airborne.
So you can guess what's going to happen here. I mean, we've seen plenty of counter-UAS demonstrations, but what was really cool here is just the way that simultaneously they all went down. I haven't seen swarm counter-UAS technology before in being demonstrated.
Now, is that really what happened, or did everyone just pull their sticks down and in at the same time?
Well, there is the ability to do that, absolutely, but
all right, guys, 3, 2, 1, down.
It's possible.
Well, so what is it? A radio frequency or sonar or a sterile moth or what? How did it make them all go down?
Microwave. They're literally sending high energy microwave beams into the area where the drones are, and away you go.
Wow. So if you want your drone to be heated up and on the ground, that's the technology to do it.
Yeah. Let me see if I got any more on this. I'm just going to scroll down.
And really, for any kids out there watching, do not put your drone in the microwave. Not a good idea. It really...
Look, you could try it. I don't know if they'd be working too well after that.
Lloyd, did you ever do tinfoil in the microwave?
Only by accident.
Never on purpose? The guy who put lighter fluid or kerosene down the toilet.
I did that in my younger days, and when Judy and I first got married, they barely had microwaves. They were just starting to really hit.
Well, what about electricity?
And I had to save the money up for the microwave, and Judy would have killed me if I'd have done that.
Okay, yeah, you got to treat this thing with respect, and it was probably pretty big, right? It was
about half the size of my house.
You'd watch your power meter go up whenever you plugged it in.
Yeah, exactly. The lights would dim. We'd have to shut off all
There's another outage in Muskogee. Lloyd must have plugged in his microwave again.
Okay, just back to this out of interest. This system is called Leonidas, and it was created by Epirus, a new US startup, using high-powered microwaves to overwhelm the drone's onboard electronics. This was a prototype of the system. It's not yet a commercial one. Uses gallium nitride semiconductors to produce extreme levels of power density while firing this high-powered microwave. So there you go. It is. This was a staged demonstration. It was to the government. 66 drones were sent into swarm, and it was able to disable them all in one hit. The one we saw there was not 66, but earlier on in the year they did demonstrate that to the government.
Wow.
So there you go.
That's pretty serious
I wouldn't
stuff.
have called it a demonstration, a staged demonstration. It looked more like a rotor riot.
Hey, we got 10 drones in the air. We're going to take them all out at once. Stay tuned.
Okay. Our next story has got something weird in the titles, and it's got a weird character in there. I don't know why. I just saw that.
It's all
for the
been
first
weird
time.
tonight, Greg.
Oh, of course. It's all good. But this one is a real life Mario Kart. So we did see this on Ken's show, but I couldn't possibly have this week's show without sharing this. It's just too crazy. Let's put it on. So obviously some drone footage is the original source material, but they've done a whole lot more work with it than that.
That's awesome.
How do you think they actually did it? Do you think they went and flew and got the background by itself? And then superimposed the guy with the mower as well, or who knows?
Yeah, I would guess that they used a 3D program like Maya or Studio 3D Max. I don't think that's what it's called anymore, but and then took the guy on the mower. I mean, obviously you can see the shadow of the drone. The world is real, but these are all 3D elements that they placed on top of it. It's really well done, actually.
Yeah.
It
It's,
just from the outline of that shadow, I'd say it was a Skydio. Just and you look at the outline of
just
the
auto flying, just chasing him.
Yeah, he just did a follow me thing.
Yeah.
And they filmed it, and then they superimposed the rest. I mean, because you can see the lawnmower shadow, and when you see the shadow of the drone, it looks like a Skydio.
Yeah,
it looks like a Skydio. So yeah, that's what I figured.
That's pretty cool, though.
Kelly, I do have to say that on Osmo Drone and Ready Set Drone, we do look at cutting edge technology.
That's right. This is the future of drones right here, folks. Either shooting them out of the sky or playing video games with them.
Okay, Trevor 2. I've got a new stream from the man. I'm going to go and put it in the system right now. Can you both amuse yourself for about 1 minute while I go play?
Can we amuse ourselves?
Yeah, like he really wants to turn his show over to us.
That's dangerous territory there, but we
did that a while back with Ken Heron and I, and it was just we took over the show, you know. So
yeah. I know. I think I have to rein myself in sometimes when I'm on other people's
gentlemen,
shows.
We do have some live footage finally.
Oh, wow!
Coming in from Trevor.
Oh, sweet.
Viterra. That is a beautiful tree.
And if we have audio, it'll be delayed because he usually can't hear us because he's listening in on his cell phone.
Trevor, where are you, sir?
Well, he'll tell us in a little while.
Yeah. And thanks to Metro Drones for a super chat.
Hey. Very cool.
I think that. Let's see.
Bill is a great supporter of the entire community.
I think that was on your channel. I've got 3 windows opened up here, and I can't tell which one's which now. But I think that was on. No, actually, I think that was on.
Wasn't on mine.
That was on Greg's
that was
channel.
on my channel.
On Greg's
Thank you for that,
yeah,
Metro.
it was your
Thank
channel.
you.
Okay.
Metro Drones, come again, please. We love you.
Yeah, so and not only I'm going to talk about Bill for just a second. Metro Drones, he and his wife for Spin Up have been so helpful. I mean, literally helping set up equipment, helping with the food. They are just great people. So if you ever get up to, I think he's from Michigan, get up to Michigan Way, you should definitely hook up with Metro Drones because Bill and Sandy are good folks.
Yeah, he does a lot for Spin Up. I know.
Yeah,
and I know for somebody who can't go, I appreciate all the audio stuff that he does to set up the.
Well,
like when you.
I'll tell you
the video,
that,
I should say.
It will be 100% live streamed this year. I'll mention right now because I know there's still a lot of questions. I had a place in mind that I was pretty close to that I really wanted to use. Actually, they came back with a really crazy price for what it was going to cost. So I'm looking at another place now that is actually also really good, and some place that I didn't think was going to be available, but I think it is. I'll know later this week. It's hard getting a venue to commit this far out.
Yeah.
An affordable venue. Now, Greg, that different color in the water, what is that? Is that some sort of sand or chemical or just the tide?
Being that it's South Australia and it's not my part of the world, I can't give you 100% certainty. I'd guess sandbanks underneath. Certainly that's what we get around here. Oh, that one there. That bit, is that the bit you're talking about?
I'm talking about down on the down along the coast where the water is discolored, how it's kind of lighter green and then darker.
Yeah, I think it's a combination. It's certainly shallower water, and it may not be flowing as well. Maybe some algae there.
Right.
Unfortunately, we do get it in Australia sometimes.
What part of South Australia is Trevor in?
We're going to have to wait for him to come back and tell us. I did look for audio, but I'm not getting any audio from him. So
okay.
I don't know if either of you are familiar with the Pogues as a band, but they have this great song called South Australia that is just you got to listen to it. It's just like full of energy.
That lead singer on the Pogues that was on there the only time I ever saw him, he was drunk.
Yeah. No, he apparently was kind of an asshole. Sorry.
Yeah.
But what was the guy's name?
I can't remember.
Yeah, really, Shane McGowan, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Just real arrogant, real racist, real jerk kind of guy.
Yeah. They threw him out.
Yeah, they eventually replaced him. But I mean, the guy could sing. I mean,
yeah. If you've
never heard it, Lloyd, and also Trevor, and also Greg, check out the song "South Australia" by the Pogues. It is a good one.
Okay.
If you like Irish music, they're the ones to listen to.
Yeah.
Well, they're not. They're Irish, right? They're not even Australian.
Yeah, they're Irish. Yeah,
but if you like Irish, a song about South Australia.
Yeah. That's because there's so many Irish and Scottish in South Australia.
Are there?
What? Why is that?
Quite a few. Because they were the only ones that weren't prisoners being shipped from England there. They just chose to settle there. Or so I've been told by my friend who lives there.
Hey, I think I hear Trevor. Come in, Trevor. Come in, Trevor. Do you read?
Hang on.
Wait, Trevor, are you eating
an apple? I've got a little bit of audio from Trevor. I'm just not getting it all the way through.
An apple.
That's a loud apple. Oh, there we go. Port Lincoln, South Australia.
Okay.
Roll sound effect.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Trev. Well, one's from my laptop. I'll kill that because I was trying to get the sound up, but
I can sing the South Australia song.
Tell you what,
South Australia,
turn the volume down on that one on the right?
By the way, South Australia around Cape Horn.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to kill the audio there because it's not coming through well and keep it up on the laptop and you can just hear it through the speakers, maybe. Something weird happening where Wirecast doesn't like OBS.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
I mean, because Wirecast did steal their software from OBS, so you'd think they'd get along. Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I?
So anyone else in any other part of the world who's with us this morning, if you want to fly, just a reminder, this is a global fly-in. We invite people to go and fly your drone wherever is close to you. In the meantime, let me see what our next news story is that's coming up. We've got a couple left.
Wait. I'm looking at the traffic right now on this shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be an accident. Somebody's on the wrong side of the road. Do you see that, Lloyd?
Yeah, I was noticing that too, but I wasn't saying anything.
Are they all drunk? They're all crossing over the line.
It is South Australia.
Yeah, but at least we have our steering wheels on the right side of the car in this country, you know.
Can't argue that point.
Greg, have you ever driven in the U.S. or in a right side country?
I have driven in the Philippines.
How was it for you? Was it a okay? Like it worked, or were you pretty freaked out?
I had an accident.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
And it wasn't my fault.
Oh, okay. But they're going to blame it on the Aussie on the wrong side of the road.
So let me just share the story with you out of interest. If you can imagine, I'm on the right side of the road. I've got my indicator on to turn left into a driveway. There was someone coming up behind me who was on a motorbike and decided they would try and overtake me at the exact same time, even though I've indicated and I'm crossing over. He hit the back of the vehicle, which was a rental vehicle. And
was everyone okay?
He was okay, but you know what's even funnier? If I'm here and I'm going over there to my left, there was a police car facing me. And even though I had my indicator on and even though he hit me from behind, the police said, "Oh, it's your fault."
Unless you pay a fine, like a little bribe.
That is how it very often works in the Philippines, but
it does
he's just coming in for a landing. Yeah,
nice.
But
well, Trevor, that was a great flight.
I had
You
some
live in a beautiful
relatives
spot.
who went and sorted it out for me. So,
That's good.
And
but to be
Grant,
fair, the guy,
Mr. Stay Drunk, said that was seaweed down there that you were seeing.
it was seaweed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair to the guy that hit me, I found out later that he was the local town ambulance driver on his way home from delivering a baby or something like that. And, you know, he's
Just tired.
probably,
Yeah.
but anyway, that's what happened. My wife said, but he was still wrong. Yes, he was. Okay, let's get back to the studio. Thank you, Trevor, for sharing that with us.
Yeah, that was great. I'd love to visit that town someday. I actually really want to go to Perth. That's a town I want to visit.
That sounds like a reasonable place to go. When are you going to come and spin upside down?
Man, as soon as Spin Up starts making enough money to cover the cost.
Oh, we had him in shot there for a minute. I think he was sharing himself, but just missed it.
In the landing?
Oh, no. Have we got another takeoff? He's changed the battery.
Cool.
Let's okay, while he's going and taking off, let's have a look at what our next news story is going to be, and we'll flip between a little bit. So this is a story about regulations, and specifically in Europe on April 23rd, a document was published documenting a regulatory framework for what they call U-Space to allow the UTM services to develop in the country. So let's have a look at that. Now, obviously, this is a rendering of what they're doing, but this is their vision. And I'm curious to hear from people in the different chat rooms what their thoughts are in this context. You want to go fly your drone from A to B. You want to use let's call it a drone superhighway, a place where you know you're going to be safe from all other aircraft. Does that justify remote ID and similar technologies that you've got to do to be able to deliver something like that? What do people think?
Let's hear from the folks, the peeps.
Oh, Kelly's gone
It's a
down.
pretty
There we go.
complex system that they're demonstrating here. Don't you think?
I think so.
Manned aircraft, buildings, other drones. I mean, there's a lot going on. These little letters that keep popping up everywhere, words in the sky. I mean,
look, it's a rendering. Okay, it's a rendering. We get that, but it's trying to show the concept. What do people think? Is it justified to do, remote ID? Are you willing to allow your drone's information to be broadcast and to connect to these UTMs in return for being able to use those kind of drone highways? What do people think? In the meantime, we have one last story that's here today, which is this one. Let me press that. And it didn't come up on the screen because we've still got Trevor there. But it says Chernobyl by drone. Just imagine you saw that.
That doesn't look like Chernobyl.
Yeah, we're going to go. We've got Trevor for the moment. The story is, take a Mavic Air 2 drone tour of one of the most hazardous places on Earth. When you can float above abandoned cities and their radioactive debris, this is one way to do it. This video is actually over 3 hours long, so we're not going to watch the entire thing. We're just going to have a look at the beginning, but do click the link in the description and go and check it out. It's a really cool video.
there was a song a few years back about those Chernobyl kids. They got green eyes and no eyelids. Those Chernobyl kids, they're really kind of funky.
So we got a little bit of Trevor on the right still, but let's watch this full screen for now.
I've actually heard that wildlife has really come back there. You know, I mean, it's because there's no humans. Or I guess there are people that actually live there still, huh?
Well, at least in close proximity of some sort, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd necessarily live where the reactor was.
It's quite pretty.
Well, according to the Justice League, only the people that can't afford good housing live there. You know, that's what they said on the Justice League. You know, and I believe everything I see in the movies.
As you should. You should.
So as I said, this is a 3.5-hour tour of the exclusion zone taken by this company, ProArt.
What is the exclusion zone? Is that an area where it's still too hazardous for humans?
I would believe so, yeah, just judging by that name. And certainly you can see some things in there like old Ferris wheels that are rusted and abandoned, and as you go through it,
Pardon me.
All sorts of things in there.
Well, just looking at it's making you sneeze.
Well, okay, if this is too hazardous for humans to be, we know that's not a long-range drone, so what idiot chose to go in there to take this video?
So without trying to guess what they're doing, you know, for short-term exposure and maybe protection suits or apparatus or whatever it is that they're doing, that may be possible. And certainly, hypothetically, you want to actually be able to know how is the area progressing. And I don't know if they even thought to use measurement devices on the aircraft to go and measure the radiation levels. That'd be pretty cool as well.
Oh yeah, if it's portable enough.
It's safer than going to Walmart. No COVID exposure here.
That's true. There's probably not a lot of the COVID. The Rona can't survive the radiation.
Can't survive the nuclear radiation.
Oh wow! I definitely want to watch this. This is quite fascinating.
This is a 3-hour video. We'll leave it there now and get back to the studio. But do go and check it out.
I think Greg's right. I've read a few articles about Chernobyl, and again, nature actually, you know, as Jeff Goldblum said, what is it? Life finds a way. But I do think that people are going in with hazardous suits on, and for a short period of time, and it's, you know, not much worse than getting an X-ray or something.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming up to the top of the hour, and we've only had one flyer today. I don't know what happened to the other people that were going to fly, but maybe next time. Let's see, is anyone any messages here? No. Okay. So with
it's a cool flight though. Good quality on the flight.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. You know what? Next time, Kelly, I want you to go and put an aircraft up in your backyard. Jump from your studio inside. We'll have you go outside and look around.
Yeah. I mean, it's still light. I could go do it right now. If
you want to do that?
Yeah, sure. So I should use what
look in your chat.
Anything that uses Go4.
No. Which drone of my fleet should I use?
Anything that uses
that can do RTMP.
There is a little bit of a flex. I was trying to ignore it. Can I do the new? You think I can do the new Air S or Air 2S?
If it uses DJI Go 4, you can do it. If
it doesn't use DJI Fly,
then you can't.
I'll go do it with my Mavic 2 Pro.
Okay.
Here, as a matter of fact, let me just get it out and get it all set up right now. I'll just do that on camera.
You know what? That'd be actually interesting to have you sit in front of camera and explain to people how to do the setup and go fly live. Maybe we'll get some more people next time.
Yes. Let me go find it. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, Lloyd, in the meantime, tell me a joke.
Yes. Are you kidding me? I don't have jokes off. You didn't no warning. The show's a joke. No, I'm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't tell us a joke. Let's not do that. Tell me about what you've been doing with your aircraft. You've got your goggles now. Where have you been flying?
Just around the house and outside. I've been trying to get the. I've been upgrading this X9 Lite. It doesn't do natively D8, so you have to upgrade using. Well, you have to use the module that I have attached to the back, and you have to then upgrade the software in it, the OS on it, which is called OpenTX, and it's got, there's hundreds of versions, of it. Well, probably not that many, but they're like on 23 point something now. And it's just a matter of, I've been doing that, trying to get all of my switches set up. And every time I do something, I have to go back and reset it because like, oh man, I forgot to do that. And I'm learning my way around. But that's basically.
Does your drone say, their controller say, welcome to OpenTX every time you turn it on?
No. Believe it or not, that the sound pack wasn't in there because I didn't have an SD card in it to start out with. And you have to have the SD card in order to have the sound pack. And the last update I just did actually took the sound pack out. So there's a lot of complexity to these things. I mean, it's like, and you look at all that, and you look at all the different controllers, and it's like, well, do I pick an Apple? Do I pick an Android? Should I go with a Windows system? How about Linux? It's the same thing with these flipping controllers. And I will say one thing. I have been watching a lot of Joshua Bardwell stuff.
Yeah. He's definitely a good teacher. I mean, there's a lot to learn. I think picking FR Sky was a good choice because there's so many drones that have that receiver built in already. So it gives you a lot more options with FR Sky.
And I mean, I can do with the newest version of OpenTX, and on this particular one, I can do Crossfire. I'm doing the XJT, which is the external mod that I have on it, module I have on it. It's interesting, but that's what I've been doing with it, and trying to get everything ready for us to go out and spend some time at the cabin over the next 3 or 4 weeks, and getting all that stuff ready. So hopefully I'll be doing some filming out there.
Speaking of filming, let's go and interrupt and talk about what Kelly's doing so far. So getting the drone out, that's the easy bit. Getting it powered on, the easy bit.
So I have my phone here in the controller. It's weird because I think I have to relink this controller to the aircraft because I think the last time I flew this, I used a smart controller. So hold on 1 second.
Okay.
That is step one. Let's see. And one big difference between the Mavic 2 Pro and the Air or the Air 2 or the Air 2S is that on this guy, there's a little button down on the side that you have to push to link. Yeah, it's right there, the link button. But on the Air 2S, you hold down the power button for like 3 seconds. But I'm having a little trouble here linking it. What's going on here? It's a lot of pressure to be under, Greg.
Look, there's nothing like a little bit of instant challenge.
That's right.
Well, now we're seeing what your real skills are.
Yeah, I know.
Let's also talk about the DJI Go 4 app. So I've got my phone here, and apologies if it's not super clear. But once you get in the top right-hand corner, the 3 dots, so we get to the preferences screen. And once you do that, let me do it on mine first. Got to remember which one it was. Okay, the 3 dots at the bottom in the menu that's in the middle of the screen is the one that you press. And once you've done that, you've got select live broadcast platform. Now, just out of interest for those people who do use DJI Go 4, it's got a couple of options there for YouTube. The YouTube option is broken. It used to work, but unfortunately DJI didn't update their software. But there's custom RTMP, and that's what you use to get into the broadcast studio. And again, my phone here, apologies if it's a bit small, but rtmp://rtmp.dronebook.org/live/ and then put in, I don't know, your name or some other magic key, as long as it's unique, and that will work.
Yeah, so I'm linked to the drone. That's taken care of. Now it said I had to do a firmware update. I'm doing that. I'm at 97%, so it's almost done. So now it's updating the aircraft. That's at 0%. But once it's done with the firmware update, I'll do what you just said and get it going. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand outside, open my front door. I'm gonna fly in and do a single shot through the entire house. You'll see my wife making cookies in the kitchen. You'll see my kids playing harmoniously, probably doing their homework on a Friday. I mean, that's the kind of family we are.
And simultaneously, the audio as you fly into each of those zones will sound like the drone is not there at all, and you'll just hear the conversations.
You'll hear them just saying kind things to each other. And yeah, I don't know why I decided to do this firmware update. That was pretty stupid. I should have just gone.
And thanks to Wayne King for $10 super chat.
Hey, Wayne. Hey, you know what? Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wayne King tonight.
Everybody Wayne King tonight. I'm going to have to look that up now.
That's a good one. I saw Wang Chung open for the Cars in 1984. They were the opening act.
Okay.
Joe Blaylock says on your channel, Kelly, he says, been a while since you powered it up.
Yes, actually. The last time I flew this was when I was comparing it to the Evo, which has been probably about 3 months ago. So, yeah, I'm paying the price now. It is upgrading. Is that
so
icon?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
What do you guys think about the kind of lockouts from being able to downgrade firmware in some of the manufacturers and some of the products?
Well, I don't know. I know I can say in DJI Assistant you can actually go backwards, at least with the FPV stuff, because I have just recently updated my DJI FPV. And there was an option to go back to the previous firmware if you wanted to. So I don't know if you're talking about DJI in like the Fly app or the Go 4 app if you can't go backwards. But I know with DJI Assistant you can do it on FPV at least.
So in Mavic Pros and certainly some Mavic 2 versions and some Phantom versions, etc., you can't go back to all earlier versions of the software. They're preventing you from doing that to prevent you doing silly things that they don't like.
Well, but also there may be a battery incompatibility issue at that point because the battery has its own firmware. There may be, yes, part of the reason they're doing it is that, but I think you're also, when you go backwards on one device, unless you're smart enough to know that you have to go backwards on all the devices, I think you could run into some trouble. I mean,
just
that's
my personal opinion. I'd love it to allow you to go to any version, and if there's a incompatible battery firmware, to just pop up an error. You can't use this battery,
or to offer you the back dating on the battery as well.
Yeah. That's, I suppose because it automatically does that with the batteries going forward.
Right.
I mean, that happens. Right. I'm sure you guys all in the chat, everybody, every time you start up a DJI drone, it's like incompatible battery firmware upgrade. Okay. I should have done this last night.
So they should be able to say downgrade. Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, pardon my little interruption, but how are we going there, Kelly? We got the aircraft
We
powered
are
up?
83% done. Look, see the little progress bar.
Right.
Where is it? Progress bar. You see it?
I need a sound thing on my soundboard for the Jeopardy dum dum dum.
Right.
Dum,
Lloyd could play it on the guitar. He could pick it out for us.
No.
Ding 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 ding.
I could, but
whoop whoop ding ding whoop whoop ding 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 ding.
It would be too much effort for me to get up and walk that, I don't know, 2 steps to pick up.
Didn't we talk? You have a Rickenbacker, right?
No, I have a Gretsch.
A Gretsch, okay.
Yeah, I have 2 Gretches actually.
But it's kind of a big bodied thing, like a big hollow body thing.
It's an arch top semi it's a hollow body electric. That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah. No, those are awesome. All right, 86%. Oh, 87. It's moving right along. Almost there. Maybe we might actually catch a sunset out there. There's some nice clouds today, and I think the sunset's actually going to be pretty. So, almost there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. So, for everyone who lives in Texas, I am intending to meet up with Chris, Sunrise Water Media, and Kai, and maybe Harley FPV. I know he might be in Austin tomorrow, down in New Braunfels at our usual spot. So if you want to join, Kai has all the details, but we're going to do it tomorrow afternoon because they have soccer games in the morning. So tomorrow afternoon at the near Canyon Lake in near New Braunfels. It's a beautiful spot to fly. And actually, I've never flown there in the evening, but Kai said it's really nice. The lighting is really cool in the evening. You get lots of cool stuff.
Also, $10 super chat from Northern Tier FPV.
Hey, Northern Tier.
Thank you very much.
Whenever
89%?
Whenever Ken or somebody would have these FPV guys on the shows, on Thursday nights or any of the shows, I just, like, I'm going to go watch something else or fix me something to eat and wait until something more entertaining comes on. And, and Joshua Bardwell, just like, I'd hear him as like, but I watch so much of his videos and so many more of this. And anytime Ken, it's just, Doc Murdoch came by and stopped here.
Yeah, he was on his way back from Florida, right?
Yeah, and he was coming down to you.
Yeah,
he was on his way to your to that meetup that you guys had.
Yep.
And he stopped and let me watch in those goggles of his, and I did a ride along with him, and I was hooked. I didn't get airsick, none of that. Just boom, I was ready to go, and I'm addicted to it. And I watch all these guys now. It's like it is, as he calls it, the dock side.
It is definitely like the dopamine in your brain when you do something cool. It's a challenge, and being able to fly through, and Lloyd, I'll tell you the other thing too. Hey, Trevor, I see you. I see your arm. Trevor, wave for us. I will say too that Lloyd, if you have the opportunity to, this was last summer. It was last summer. I had flown a little bit of FPV here and there, but hadn't gotten serious. Last summer, I did 10 battery packs a day for, I don't know, like a week. And it just, like, you just doing that every day for 10 days or a week just totally got me so much more comfortable.
I couldn't even get this thing up off my desk a little bit ago without it. But, the thing is it's just so much fun. And I enjoyed, I am looking forward to doing a 5-inch, 4S or something like that. Because, these Tiny Hawks, they're real.
Yeah, they're actually harder to fly than the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is when you get a bigger one, you'll be like, oh, this is actually easier. And so
outside, I did pretty good on it. But
starting with the Tiny Hawk is good. Hey, I see Trevor there. Hey, Trevor.
There he is.
Good to see you, man. He says Slice Engineering on his shirt.
By the
It's
way,
very
just
green
a
grass there.
quick interruption from Trevor. Let me just put this up. Trevor has sent postcards from different places he's been going to. So as he's traveling around for the day job, thank you for that. Number one, number two.
Wait, are those real postcards or are those like green screens that you're holding up?
No, this is a real postcard.
You don't see that very often anymore.
Exactly.
So I've got a challenge to all my viewers. Go and send a postcard from your part of the world, wherever it is, and we'll share those.
Hey, I like that. That would be a great thing to share on the Global Fly-In. And look,
Absolutely.
he's got fans over there. Looks like Trevor has a fan club.
Absolutely.
All right.
I got to read this. I got to read this joke. What's red, white, and blue?
Red, white,
candy cane.
Thank
you, Joe Blaylock.
I've told this one many times, but I think it's so great, especially with FPV. Lloyd, did you hear about the two antennas that got married?
Oh, here we go. Yes, I've heard it. I've heard it a few times.
I know. I've told it a few times. The ceremony wasn't great, but the reception was fantastic.
Fantastic. And I need to step out of here for a little bit. I'll be back in just a minute.
Well, okay. So actually, my drone's all updated. So I'm going to go down to not aircraft status. I need to go 3 little dots. I need to go to select live broadcast RTMP, and I need to paste. Let's see. What was it again? Is it just want to read it off to me? I'll type it in. HTTP.
No, it's not HTTP. It's
not
RTMP.
RTMP. Sorry.
Colon /
hold on. Colon / All right.
Then RTMP again. RTMP dot.
RTMP dot.
Drone book.
DRONEBOOK.
.org.
.org.
/live.
/LIVE.
/ and then you can pick a
/ready.
RSD
Set.
or Kelly or anything you like.
Drone. Okay. Enter. Oops. All right. All right, you should be seeing my my office here.
Not yet. I'm waiting.
I'm indoors, but let's make sure you can see my.
There we go. So let me go.
You see my feet here in a second. See my Crocs.
I'll just add into the studio. Bear with me.
All right, should I go on outside?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll be outside. All right, I should probably have brought a device to watch this as well. Oh.
There we go. We have Kelly going for a walk. Now, we may have some Wi-Fi dropout just for a few moments as he gets from one place to another. So Lloyd's gone walkabout, and we've got a frozen Kelly.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, there we go.
I'm back.
Okay, we've got an image from Kelly's drone.
Well, I see the inside of his house. I see him walking around outside.
And the
we
live
show his
shot you're
dog in the
watching,
living room.
Yeah, the live shot you're watching now is from Kelly's drone. But it's not really live.
No, I mean, I'm talking about what I'm seeing on, I'm seeing his living room.
No, don't look at that one. Look up the top. The one I'm sending back. The window from my studio.
Yeah. Which is just the trees frozen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is frozen. That's what's coming back from Kelly's drone right now.
Right. Yeah. And he's outside, has no clue.
No.
Because I can see him out the window. I'm looking in his, I'm sitting in his living room looking out the window at him. So, in case, Northern Tier FPV says stuck in a tree. Yeah, see, that's what I'm looking at. See, he's out there in his shorts. He's flying. His dog. Oh, there goes his dog. At least we got that live shot from him. And he's got his, oh, he doesn't know where his drone's at. It's up here and he has no clue.
Yeah.
Which,
I'm gonna go get paid.
nope,
Okay,
still stuck.
So I'll give people a little tip. When you're going and doing live flight, if you've got a mobile phone that you're using for DJI Go, definitely go and disconnect your Wi-Fi and use 4G. Because I'll bet you what's happened, Kelly's gone outside with his phone and his Wi-Fi.
And he's on his Wi-Fi in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Makes perfectly good sense.
Wait.
So in the meantime, we'll go back to good old Trev over here. Ooh, Trev's gone black.
It is. Well, we can watch Kelly. Look at there. He.
That's Trev's camera. I don't know what happened. Just at the exact moment I was about to send it.
Well, Kelly's holding his drone. This is entertaining watching him wander around out through his
This is watching
window.
paint dry, I tell you what.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Look, I think
so
we've gone over today.
Every month. Yeah, we have. We do this every month, and we want everybody on all three channels that are listening to this, please, come in and fly with us because, Greg does a lot to make sure everything's working. Yeah,
So,
that was great, Kelly. I thought it was fantastic.
Kelly, that was the best flying I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Watch it in replay.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Watch it in replay and you'll understand.
And did it work?
Just watch it in replay. We'll leave
Watch
it
it
at
in
that.
replay. There's nothing else we need to say.
All right.
There's definitely some play-by-play going on there too.
Nice. Nice. Well, there's nothing like not know. Could you guys hear me, by the way?
Oh, look, I can hear every word.
Yeah.
Crystal clear.
Everything, yeah.
Okay. Hey, good time.
You just watch it in replay.
I will do that.
Okay. I think we've reached the end of the show. It's time for us to pack up and have a regular day. As we finish today, as always, a couple of quick announcements. If you want to send anything, send it to upload@gregkuhnert.com. Let's try that again. There we go. That's the address if you want to send an email. Number 2, if you want to follow us on social media, that's where you can do that. @OzByDrone on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, anything else. All OzByDrone. Postal address. If you want to send a postcard, do send a postcard. 5/127 Princess Highway, Sylvania, New South Wales 2224. Prove to me that you have postcards in your country, wherever you live. It'd be interesting to actually see if that's happening. So, Lloyd.
Why am I? Oh, I know why I'm on here, because Kelly went outside, yeah.
No, he'll come back. So, Lloyd, last little thing from you. What's your last comments for the day?
Well, I'm going to say what I always say. Be kind. Treat each other better than you would treat yourself. Remember, everybody matters. even Kelly.
Oh, wow.
And I appreciate everybody being on the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
great turnout tonight. Very fun. Thank you guys. If I could leave you with my final words, that is go Google South Australia by the Pogues. You'll be tapping your feet.
Sounds like something to do. From me, I say thank you for being part of the show today. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of it. Please, a month from now, we want to see you flying. If you want to try and practice this now and work out if you can get your drone hooked up, come into Discord after the show. Before I come into Discord, I'm going to talk to Kelly and share with him what happened. So anyway, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye for now.